I thought I'd give you an update on where I'm at on the cheap tubing bender project. I've been working really hard on the cargo trailer conversion to our toy hauler because, as you can see, it is gorgeous out and it's starting to get nice weather, and we're going to be wanting to go camping before long. I know we already have some camping trips scheduled, so I got to have them done before then, and we're going to have some riding trips coming up too, so I got to get it put back together. But it's nice and warm out today, so I'm going to go to the garage where I don't need to build a fire since it's nice and warm, and I'll show you where I'm at on the tubing bender. And then when it's dark and chilly and stuff, I'll go back to working inside there because I'll just turn the heat on. All right, headed there. All right, here it is. I put it together. One thing I did notice, and I don't know if it's just this bender, because this was that Eco Trick. I got it off of Amazon. It was only 200 bucks for all the bending frame and all the pins and the bushings, the degree wheel, and come with all these extra pins for, you know, holding your shoes and stuff in. I don't know if it's just this one or if they're all like this, but the bolts that they sent with it are metric, and so they're just a little bit smaller than what the hole size would be for. I mean, I think they'll work just fine, but as you can see, this is one of their metric bolts they sent me, and it's in there, but it's got quite a bit of play. And so I went and got this 3/4 inch bolt because it's much tighter, and this is where I'm going to mount the cylinder at for the air cylinder for pushing it. So I figured might as well go ahead. I needed a longer bolt anyhow, so I was going to go ahead and get that, upgrade the size there just a little bit, and then I made my bushings and stuff for it. I'm going to make a mount come off this to hold the air cylinder. So I have the old bushing they gave me inside here, so that way I can tighten this bolt down and it'll tighten up against this bushing, but this bushing here is shorter, so it'll still be free to rotate, so I can mount my cylinder off this and it'll rotate it around. But there's the shoe. I got it made, the die I should say, but I think it turned out really well. It's all bolted together. I turned a sleeve and got it in there. I need to clean the inside out again because it's got some weld berries in there. I should have plugged the hole before I welded it up. And now that it's welded together, I can take these out, clean the outside up. I'll probably paint it just to keep it from rusting. Get that done. Here's what I had left over after I took it off the lathe. I'm not sure what all I said in it, but I'm not sure what all I said in the first video. As you can see, this plate down here, you can see all the holes in it. I cut those out with my CNC plasma table there, drilled holes through, and bolted it together. I don't know if you can see the different layers in there or not. But those are 1/4 inch, and there's like 2 1/8 inch plates, and everything else is 1/4 inch. But that got me the right width with having a full 1/4 inch plate on the edge, and the size I needed inside. Probably sit better on this piece here. Oh, it's heavy. But there we go. You can kind of see the different layers in there. But I bolted it together. Turned the chucks around in my lathe and grabbed it from the outside, and I bored the hole in the center, and then I put a rod through the center and tack welded it to it, and then I turned my jaws back around the chucked the whole thing in there, and used the lathe to turn this stuff down till I got really close, and then I ran it around there with a flap disc on a grinder to just smooth everything down and make it smoother. So turned out really well. I'm happy with it. I had a piece of 1 3/4 pipe, and that's what I used as my guide to go by. It was kind of rusty, and so I would just stick it in there and turn it, and when I take it out you could see the rust marks on the high spots, and that's where I knew to turn it down further on the lathe until I got it pretty much all the way around, and I was happy with it there. So next step is I'm going to mount this, and I made a mistake. I didn't think far enough ahead. This table goes back against the wall there, and I drilled these 2 holes through my tabletop, and this is a mounting plate that comes with the bender, and I was going to bolt down through here. The bender was going to stick out to this side, which would have worked because when I put this back against the wall where it goes, the tubing bender would have stuck out behind the drill press, and it would have been out of the way, and I could have just left it there all the time, and it was great. The problem was I didn't take into consideration that with the bender mounted this way, the air cylinder came out this way, and of course it only works if you have this down. It has to lay in here. It has to lay like that, because then the oil gets to your air pump and pumps. If you try to lay it on its side, which it would have worked perfect like this, but on its side you don't get any oil into this, and it just won't, the air part won't work. Well, neither part will work because it doesn't get the oil into the cylinder to pump. There might be a way to take that apart and to adjust some ports so that the oil will get where you need to, but I ain't gonna mess with it. So what I'm going to do now is drill a 3rd hole here, and so that'll let the bending frame stick out this side, and the air cylinder will stick out this way, and then it'll be hanging here in space, so that air pump will clear the table. And if I want to put this thing away, then I can just take this bolt out, loosen this one, turn it, and I can pull the pin out of the cylinder and turn it so everything's sticking this way, and then roll it back there in the corner. It really won't be that bad because it's not something that I'm going to be setting up, taking down, setting up. When I finally get ready to start bending, it'll probably just get set up, and I will leave it out like this. The table's on wheels, so I can move it around. They're not great wheels, but it's all I had at the time, so I just hurried up and threw them under there. I would like to build some wheels. I'd like a couple stationary wheels in the back and a couple casters up front, but I want the lift wheels so that way I could set it down on a rubber stop so that it doesn't slide around when I'm trying to put stuff in the vise and bend on it and everything else. Don't want it rolling around. But all right, guys, I'm going to get this hole drilled, and we'll see about getting it mounted back up. I got this bolted down so that it shouldn't move too much, but I'm going to use this 3/4 inch bit to go ahead and get the center marked. Oh, I bet there's Dolly. Nope. I guess I'm gonna have to get back here so I can see what I'm doing. It bit. She's cutting now. One down, two go. I tried my best to figure out how to get it rolled over underneath the drill press head, but it didn't have enough reach to come down to reach the tabletop. Because I could have got it over there, but it just didn't have enough throw, and I didn't want to mess with trying to figuring out if I could lower that any, or jacking this table up, because this table's heavy. This is about a 1/2 inch thick tabletop. I got the clutch set, which I'll probably have to tighten it up some to get through it, but that way it doesn't break the bit or whip around there and break me. Well, I decided to go ahead and clean that bending die up and throw some paint on it. So it looks a whole lot better. Plus that'll just keep it from rusting. And I sprayed everything, but you know, the paint will wear off, but once I start to using it, it'll probably get some oil on it, some WD-40 or something to help lubricate the die. But that'll keep it from rusting. And then got 2 side projects going on at the same time. I don't know if you guys ever, get sidetracked in the middle of a project, but I got this out here where I parked my truck and trailer for my equipment was getting pretty muddy. So I put the teeth down and pulled some of the gravel back up, and in the middle was spreading it. And I started this one in here. I was trying to clean off the table some here, and my Harbor Freight grinder quit working, and this is why. The ear kind of burned off a little bit, and so it came off there. So I got the soldering iron warming up, and while I had it plugged in warming up, I decided to get the tractor out to level off that gravel, and now the soldering iron's warm. I'm going to solder this back up, and then I'll go back to grading out the driveway. Side projects, side quest 2, me 0. Hopefully I'll have them both done here in a little bit.